You said you were a trainee, but you're lying, right?
Trouble Busters!
Everyone, please welcome Alan, who's going to be joining our team as our trainee chef. Nice meeting you, sir. My name is Alan. I'm a 50-year-old who applied to be trained in a luxury hotel restaurant. If I don't do well here after giving it my best shot, I plan on quitting being a chef. Hey, Red Geezer, are you done unpacking? No, not yet. This was how our 6-month probation had started. During the first 3 months, things went without any problem. However... Hey, I'll take care of the rest. I guess I can't. So now we've been trying our best, though. I see. We want to do whatever it takes to be officially hired and get to work with Mr. Stewart, the French chef who's one of the top 5 in the world. We've been trying hard. Okay. Let me try to talk to him directly about it. Yes, please. I'm sorry, Alan, but you failed your probation. I knew it. A chef who can't use the knife isn't considered a chef. We won't even need to conduct the test, don't you think so? You're exactly right. I would do the same thing if I were in your position. Thank you for your time. Okay. A 50-year-old rookie. I had high hopes for his eagerness to learn, and that was why I hired him as our trainee. But maybe I was wrong to have done so. What? Oh my goodness! Alan, wait! You said you were a trainee, but you're lying, right? What? Huh? What's going on? Ha! He must mean that he doesn't even deserve to be called a trainee! I've never tasted such delicious fond de veau in my life! Please, tell me who you truly are! What? A fond de veau that's so delicious to the point where Mr. Stewart hasn't ever had it? But a chef who can't use a knife isn't worth anything. Even if we were to put that aside, I'd like you to stay here. At least this fond de veau surpasses what I'd cook. What? A fond de veau that exceeds what Mr. Stewart could cook? No way! There's no way he could be so talented! Alan, I'd like to get to know you better. Will you please come with me? Yes, sir. No way! A dark horse out of nowhere? Hey, Tucker, you might not make it if he ends up. Even though Mr. Stewart is satisfied with him, they can't possibly hire a chef who can't even decently use a knife. Besides, I have a secret plan. Don't you dare carry yourself away, Alan! Well, judges vote for Mr. Alan's dish. Congratulations, Alan, for winning a position to be officially hired at our restaurant. I never thought he'd learn how to use the knife. I wonder what kind of training he received. I'm so proud of you for overcoming your trauma from the past. You really put in all your best to this. No, this is all thanks to you, Chef. Hold on a second. This isn't even fair. Oh, Tucker. What's the matter? You need to look at the longer run rather than what's in front of you. I'd be able to continue to this restaurant for a lot longer time than Alan. Alan is already past his peak. His performance will only decline, and it'll never incline. You're trying to make others look bad just to make yourself look good again. What? That's what you always do. Haven't you realized it yourself? What? Rather than learning how to prep, you've been looking for ways to get Alan to fail this test. No! I just thought this man isn't even worth taking the test. That was why... But that's not for you to decide. But you should have said it if that was how you felt. Isn't it unfair that you've never pointed it out until now? I'm here to teach you how to cook, but I don't mean to teach you or correct you with anything outside of that. I'm only here to silently fail those who aren't suitable for our establishment. Hey! Huh? You'd better step down. What? Why do you look so surprised? You need to stop causing trouble to other people. Actually, after causing so much trouble, you decided to go behind our backs and get in my way. You must have been lying about how you couldn't use a knife because you wanted attention. What? No, that's not true. All the judges? What do you guys think? Isn't this unjust? The results have already been decided. You need to stop resisting the outcome just to bring down your class. You must have pretended as if you couldn't handle this just to get everyone's attention in the beginning. Sir, I hope you recall the fact that you started to keep an eye on Alan because I brought up the fact that we've been having problems with Alan. If it wasn't for that, Alan would have stayed a man who knew nothing about cooking. I would have won the position.
Then you ruined it all for yourself.
What?
Thank you for such an annoying self-introduction. You tried to make Alan look useless and made a huge scene, which ended up bringing him to Mr. Stewart's attention for no reason. And without that, Mr. Stewart would have never realized Alan's presence, and he would have failed the test. Isn't that what you're saying?
That's right! This means that I was the one who trained Alan, and it was all for me! This means that if I weren't here, Alan wouldn't have been hired to begin with! What kind of way to demand appreciation is that? Your classless personality was what pushed Alan up to where he is, and you ended up failing yourself!
That's right. It's such an easy-to-understand failure as if I'm reading a children's book about an old tale.
What the heck? Are all the judges on Alan's side too? We only choose what's better. In this case, we chose whoever cooked the best French food out of all of you. It's as simple as that. And are you saying that my food isn't as good as Alan's? That can't be possible! From hors d'oeuvre to cafe, Alan has been superior in every item. That's why we decided to hire him. That's all there is to it.
Tucker, your food wasn't too bad at all. It's just that they don't feel considerate.
Considerate? I made sure to inform everyone about the likes of the judges in advance.
I don't really like spicy food, and I made sure I mentioned that on my notes. But you cooked something that was a little spicy.
You say that because you've never had truly good French food.
French food isn't anything spicy to begin with.
I wanted to bring down those prejudices.
It probably means that you wanted to make the judge, who isn't really good with spicy food, say that the food is good despite its spiciness. You wanted to show yourself off.
For you to have served something that wasn't the judge's preference to still make them choose your food, that's simply overconfidence. No! I just wanted to fix the judge from being a picky eater!
That's none of your business. Besides, you must be underestimating this test to have done such a risky thing for a test that alters whether you're hired or not.
To serve something that the judge doesn't like, didn't you think about what's about to happen if you don't pull it off? But if I ultimately made you guys say that it was good...
It wasn't bad, but I still didn't prefer it. I made sure to clarify that I didn't prefer spicy food in advance.
The worst part of it was the coffee. What? I'm sorry to say this, but I really didn't think it was a great idea. I know why I lost.
Huh?
Huh? What? You all have weird taste buds, that's it! Of course I can't win this game. No matter how good my food is, you guys won't ever get how great they are if you don't even know what you're tasting! The coffee I prepared was brewed from the world's best coffee beans. And the drip! There couldn't have been a more perfect coffee than the one I brewed!
Well, your coffee tasted good.
But Tucker, it goes back to the fact that you failed as a chef. Why would I fail when I served the best coffee? What about milk and sugar? Huh? I understand that you served great coffee, but then Some people can't have black coffee. Some people want sugar too. No one appreciated the fact that you served the coffee without even being considerate of the customer. But coffee is all about enjoying it without mixing anything in. And who are you to force your rules onto the customers? What about the future? How's the future? Alan can still continue working actively. But he couldn't even hold a knife until just yesterday.
What? Really?
That's right, Ms. Judge. This guy was less than an amateur when he couldn't even hold a knife until just yesterday. He's fine, I guarantee it. Your occupation is a chef, and you're not a doctor. I'm fine now, and I don't believe it. I then went ahead and talked about the time when I was at a large competition as a representing chef while I couldn't perform at my best because of my nerves, resulting in a mess. And because of what happened, my family and colleagues ended up cornering me around, and I even had to go through a divorce. And ever since, I struggled to hold a knife.
You must have been traumatized.
I couldn't fulfill everyone's hopes when everyone was so hopeful about me. I didn't want to betray that trust, and I felt I wasn't being myself. I'm a coward who can't even perform at my best during the most critical moment. And Chef Stewart told me that I wasn't being a coward, but it was just that I was being too kind. That was the moment when I felt like my trauma had vanished completely.
That's such a heartwarming story.
But you never know what could happen if his trauma comes back! Are you sure you guys want to hire a chef who has an explosive with him all the time? No matter how big a scene you make, we're not hiring you.
The way you cook is completely self-satisfying, and you have such a terrible personality to bring others down just to make yourself look good.
You're not going to be fit to work at this hotel! But I'm a talented young chef who used to work at renowned restaurants, too! A truly talented young chef wouldn't call themselves a talented young chef. You bring others down. You try to exaggerate your accomplishments, and those qualities will bring you down eventually. If it's anything about your techniques and knowledge, we can always work on that. But personality is something that we can't train you on. To my eyes, it's way too risky to hire someone like you. But Alan! I'm talking about you right now. Alan has nothing to do with you. Hey, judges! Don't you guys agree that the hotel isn't gaining anything from hiring a guy like Alan? Tucker, that's enough! Well, it's fine. We've gone all the way through this conversation.
If Alan were to be officially hired with us, his food would be served to our customers, so that's definitely a plus.
But people only feel happy when they're eating food, right? I come from a rich family, so if you vote for me, for example, I can give you some vouchers for our dad's company, too. If anything, I'm free to spend a few dozen thousands of dollars, and I could move some men and women of your liking around.
You'd better not underestimate culinary arts. You're quite bold to have tried to bribe the judges so publicly.
Aren't you prideful at all to be a chef? I wouldn't ever want to eat food that you cook, even if you were to pay me for it. That's rude!
And that's not all I have to say. If you have the time to be doing a negative campaign against someone else, why don't you go practice cooking so you'd get better at all?
That's not relevant!
Yes, it is.
That's enough. The test is already over. An attempt to bribe the judges. The lack of personality. You don't deserve to be a chef at all. What? Do I really deserve to have you say that?
If only you were willing to accept the results, we were considering making a special case to see if Chef would consider hiring you.
You were arrogant, but we saw what you were capable of. If only you were willing to admit that and improve, we planned on talking to Mr. Stewart to see if you could be hired under certain conditions. Oh my goodness! Why didn't you tell me about that immediately? You started arguing with the judges immediately, as if you were on a count of ready, set, complain. I mean, it was because I was told that I failed. You guys said I failed. Even if Alan was a chef who couldn't use the knife at all, I would have kept him here in some way. Does that mean the game was already over before it started? It'll be a loss for this hotel to lose someone who can cook fond de veau better than I can. What exactly is fond de veau? Fond de veau is a stock made by roasting and then simmering veal meat and bones to extract their flavor. Fond means stock and veau means veal. Just like how dashi broth is used commonly in Japanese cuisine, fond de veau is a stock that's used commonly in French cuisine.
It's kind of like the secret stock at a ramen shop. That restaurant won't stand without the stock.
This means that we wouldn't have terminated Alan no matter what. But then... I don't care about any of that. Let's go ahead and talk about how you guys were planning to keep me instead. We're not going to keep you here, no matter what. Damn it! I didn't think bribing the judges would end up counting against me like this.
Of course it would count against you. You'd better not underestimate us.
Okay, fine. I quit this place then. What?
You are terrible.
If I want to be a chef in a high-end French restaurant, I don't have to be here. I'm talented and I'm rich. You're gonna regret treating me like this. You're the one to regret things. What? Dad? Why are you here? I decided to come here to see how my son was doing. No! This is all of these guys' faults for trying to pick on me like this. That's why I've been watching this entire time. You're not getting away with lousy excuses at this point. Dad, I need you to give me another chance. Your second chance is all about grudges. You're only causing a huge social problem for those around you. You must have been pretending to be a sincere person in front of me. Alan and everyone else here are guilty of making me the bad guy here. Shut up! Your guilt has already been checkmated by your own guilt. What? Checkmate? I'm cutting ties with you. You're going to be on your own for the rest of your life. Cutting ties? No way! I won't be getting a job here, and I was thinking that I'd take a break for about 6 months, being all chill. You blame others, but you expect others to help you. And I can't protect a son like you. You're going to have to find a way to live your life without my support from now on. Oh, my goodness.
Besides, you're grown enough not to rely on your parents.
Well, anyway, we don't have the luxury to hire someone who has such an immature personality like you. What? Oh, please forgive me. As you can see, my father gave me a cold shoulder, and I'm completely on my own now. Huh? Jeez. Yeah, I've grown as I watched my father's back. This means...
That's enough. That's enough. We don't want another whole season of your lousy excuse episodes.
Needless to say, at this point, but you're not hired. You won't be working here anymore. How did this even happen? Please tell me that this is just a nightmare. No matter how much you cry or scream, reality doesn't change. That's something I've learned from personal experience. After being forced out of the prestigious hotel's in-house restaurant, Tucker became the center of ugly rumors, effectively ending his chances of getting another job in the food industry. Now, he's working multiple part-time jobs just to survive. Keith and Joseph, who had sided with him and harassed me, also failed their evaluations and were dismissed from the hotel. Not long after I became a chef at a luxury hotel, My ex-wife, hearing the news, tried to rekindle our relationship and even proposed remarriage. But of course, I turned her down. As for the so-called colleagues who once tried to drag me down, I hear they've each faced one problem after another, and none of them remain active in the field today. Meanwhile, under the guidance of my mentor, Chef Stewart, I've begun to rediscover the true joy of being a chef. For all the time I stood still, I now want to keep moving forward until the day my mission in this life is complete. Trouble Busters!